Hey girls, hey. Hey boys, hey. Welcome back to my channel. It's Mama Beauties here. Welcome. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. This is a place where we do not hate, we participate, we articulate, we speculate, and we regulate at times. So just hit that subscribe button. You're safe here. We also agree to disagree, and that's okay. Our opinions do not have to align on everything. You are welcome. This is a safe community. And I just wanted to give everyone's a heads up that we do talk about some very sensitive topics here. It is very much adult content, and there are some trigger warnings for all of my videos that are not monetized. If the video is monetized, then you don't have to worry about it. It's kid friendly. You don't ever have to worry about anything like that if it is not monetized. I mean, if it is monetized. If it's not monetized, then it's probably about true crime, death, mayhem, addiction, tragedy. And so just be aware on those types of videos on my channel. But other than that, welcome everyone. I am thoroughly enjoying having my channel and all of my humble beauties. Each and every one of you means so much to me. And I want to address, hey girl, hey. Oh, I'm so glad you got your package, Kathy. Hi, Julie. I'm sorry, Anna, you can't find it. Oh, that's horrible. So, I just wanted to let everybody know that I just got done watching the Oxygen episode, and hopefully it will be on Oxygen. If you go on Oxygen and look at their series and go try to find Criminal Confessions, you will find season 3, episode 1. Now, it might not be there now because some of these channels that stream episodes on their apps or their websites, they wait 24 hours after it airs before they put it on those sites. So maybe it'll be there tomorrow. But it was on Oxygen, and the episode was called Criminal Confessions. Hi, Becca. Hey, Tara J. You're welcome, Janine. Thank you so much for saying that, Julie. So basically, it was an hour and a half long. It was on the Oxygen channel. It was the first episode of Criminal Confessions, season 3. And it mainly was narrated by Tammy Lee, our favorite agent from the Chris Watts investigation. She's actually the lady that gave Chris Watts his polygraph, you guys. And she looked beautiful. I didn't even recognize her whenever she first came on at the beginning of the show. When she first came on, I did not even recognize her. She looked younger and beautiful. She was just rocking it, you guys. So we're going to get into that in a minute, but I want to cover a couple of things before I give you guys a summary of the actual show. I ordered the book, you guys, by Lena. I think her name was Durali, Durhali, or Durhaley. Anyway, Lena, she wrote the book called My Daddy is a Hero. And I'm going to be getting that book on Tuesday, you guys. So I'll read as much as I can on Tuesday when it comes in my mail, and I'll go live that night and we'll cover whatever I've went over. And I really think that that book is going to be awesome because she is got this master's degree, all these master's degrees, and she's got a BA in psychology and a master's in a couple of things, and she specializes in couple relationships, couple counseling. That's her forte. And so she is getting deep inside the mind of Chris Watts. And if you guys want to order that book, then you can go to Amazon. You just type in Lena Durhali, and this is how you spell it. Let me put it in the chat box. Lena Hallie. Okay, so that is the name that you will search on Amazon to get My Daddy is a Hero. And it comes in paperback and in print, or paperback and Kindle. And it's supposed to be released on December 9th. You might have gotten an early copy if you've already gotten a copy, but Amazon is not releasing it until December 9th, you guys. And so that's when, I think December 9th might be Monday, but mine's not shipping till Tuesday. But go ahead and get that order in so we can read that book. But if you don't want to get the book, then of course you know that I'm going to cover it here, just like I did the Sherilyn Cadle Letters from Christopher book. Also, Lena Durhally did an interview, the author of the book, My Daddy is a Hero, that I told you is being sold on Amazon now. She did an interview on Scott Reich's YouTube channel. A lot of us here are a part of the same true crime community, and we watch a lot of the same creators, and Scott Reich is one of them, and he had this woman on the channel, and she actually said that there is this mental illness Bible that you can buy. It is called the DSM. It is like a mental illness diagnosis notebook that psychologists use to diagnose mental illness. And so I bought that book on Amazon at the same time because I want to read the book that she wrote. She's the one that brought up this mental illness Bible. And so I bought one of those as well on Amazon. And so I am looking forward to being able to dig into that mental illness Bible and find out all the character traits of all the different people. Don't worry, friends and family, I'm not going to go around diagnosing anybody. It's just something that I think is intriguing. The human mind is awesome to me. And so I really, really want to just dig into that. It's the DSM, and I just want to dig into that book. It's edition 5, and I think I got it for $30 on Amazon, but I'm super excited for the mail to come. It's like Christmas up in here. Hi, all systems go, Samantha. Yes, Melinda, you're absolutely right. Hi, Miss T. I'm getting ready to go over the whole episode, so you guys don't have to worry if you did not get it. And also, since my mom was murdered and my dad died of lung cancer at an early age of 61, I never really got to find out what I am. I know that I'm supposed to be an 8th of Cherokee Indian because my dad was a 4th, but that's all I know about myself. I don't even know where Abshire is derived from, which is my last name, my maiden name, and everything. I don't know anything about my history or my genealogy. And so I got the Ancestry.com kit, you guys, on Black Friday. They had it half price. Instead of being $100, it was $49. And I said, you know what? Why not? You know, I might find out that I'm not Indian at all, that I don't have any Indian in me whatsoever, and I've been told a lie my whole life. So I'm super excited about that, and you know I'm going to be sharing it with you guys. But we're going to go on that journey together. So any of you that were looking to order it and you want to see how that whole Ancestry DNA kit works, we're going to go through that whole process together right here on my channel. So you'll be able to see if it was worth it for you or not. So awesome stuff. Let's get to what you're all here for. And go over the Criminal Confessions Season 3, Part 1, the Chris Watts special that aired on Oxygen here in North Carolina at 6 p.m. tonight. So, basically, Nate made an appearance. Nate the neighbor was on there, and he spoke highly of Shanann. I loved how just encouraging and uplifting he was about Shanann, because remember, he put that out there and had to retract it, that he heard arguing over there all the time, and he had to go on Dr. Phil or I forget where he went on, but he went on television and said that he had made that up, that he fabricated, that he had heard all that arguing going on over there. So he just talked about how she was a doting mother and how she had this just winning smile and how amazing she was, and that she was loving and friendly, and if he was in the backyard, she would always wave at him, and how she was happy-go-lucky all the time, and that she had one of those just laughs that you could just hear echoing. It was like one of those belly laughs that were just so genuine and pure. And so this is what Nate was saying. And he also said that he could not believe that Chris shook his hand with the same hands that he murdered his family only a few hours afterwards. He says that to this day, that blows his mind that this man stood in his living room and shook his hands, the same hands that he used to smother both of his children and to snuff out his wife with his hands around her throat as she could not fight back and was just at the mercy of his evilness. And he said it just is crazy to him to think about it, that Chris just acted normal and nonchalant, like it was nothing going on. And so right at the beginning of the episode, they played NK's 911 call. Is that out there, you guys? Is NK's 911 call on somebody's channel? I highly recommend listening to it. It is chilling, especially knowing what we know now. You just hear the concern in her voice and her still trying not to, make a fuss, but you just know that she's super concerned. And what we all would give to have a friend like Nicole Atkinson, right? I mean, she was just amazing in all of this. Without Nicole Atkinson, this case may have went down a different road. And so we all have her to thank that everything wrapped up so nicely the way that it did. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Hit that like button, you guys. Hit the like button. You're already here. You might as well do it. Okay, so then Tammy Lee came on, and she just looked beautiful and vibrant, you guys. She said in the 19 years of her doing police work that this was the worst case that she has ever worked. The worst in 19 years, worst case. She said at the beginning of the episode that she was on a mission when this happened, whenever she got the story and the case, and before she gave Chris the polygraph, and she heard about Shanann and her being missing and all of that, she said that she was on a mission to find out the victims' stories, that she knew that those precious children and this woman had a story to tell, and she was on a mission to find it. And that, when she came in after he confessed and she rubbed his back and asked him if everything was okay. Remember how she came in and rubbed his back after he had confessed, and we all wondered why she was doing that? Like, he just told you that he killed his wife and because she killed his children. And she said she did that to make him uncomfortable, that she knew that Chris didn't really like to be touched and that it would make him uncomfortable. And so she rubbed his back like that when she walked back in after he told his dad what had happened, when she said, "Can you tell me and Coder what you just told your dad?" And I always wondered why she was being so empathetic to him, but it was to make him uncomfortable, she said. She said she wanted to make him the most uncomfortable as she could possibly make him. So that was an interesting tidbit that came out of the episode. Tammy then said after that she went and she wanted to connect with Shanann. She wanted to put herself in Shanann's shoes, so to speak. And so she went and started reading her Facebook and following all of her posts and trying to become one with her, to understand what was going on with her. She said that she also connected with Shanann at the very beginning because she comes from a long line of sassy Italian women such as Shanann and Sandy. And so she said that she felt connected to her in the very beginning. And in Chris's first interview, you guys, remember when his friends, the Thayers, were waiting outside and he went there? This was before he picked up Ronnie the next day. We're talking about on Tuesday. Monday night, he stayed at his house all alone. Tuesday night, he went to the police station around 7 o'clock and he stayed there till 11 and he interviewed for like 3.5 hours. Well, during that interview, Tammy watched that very first interview through like a glass or whatever, a live stream. Maybe she watched it from the video being recorded, but she said she watched it live as he was being as he was being interviewed. And that while they were going through Shanann's phone that Tuesday night, they showed Chris pictures to see if he would show any emotion. And he talked about them in past tense. So on that Tuesday night, before he even took this polygraph, they knew that Chris had done something to them because if they brought a picture in to show him because they were concerned at this point. They didn't really think that he had done anything just yet, but they brought a picture in of his missing children and wife and showed it to him to see if it would stir up some kind of emotion or get him to tell some more details. And instead, he picked up the picture and started talking about Bella and Celeste and what they were wearing and in the past tense. So that sent off alarm bells big time. Okay, so that in that moment they were like, we need to get this guy a polygraph. They wanted to do the polygraph that night on that Tuesday, but they decided that since they had interviewed him from 7 till 11 o'clock and got him to write out his statement and was going over the statement while Tammy Lee was watching him being interviewed, writing out the statement. He had spent so long doing that they decided that he needed to go home and get rest, that it wouldn't be a good idea to go ahead and give him this polygraph after he had been there for 3.5 hours being like grilled. And so they thought that it would just be best if he came back tomorrow after getting some rest. So they set up at a time for him to come back at 11 a.m. the next day on Wednesday to take that polygraph. And that would be after he goes and picks up Ronnie from the airport and they drive back from the airport to the Frederick Police Department. So, Tammy also said in this episode that they did see very early on that Chris wasn't just not interested in the investigation. He wasn't like grilling them saying, you need to help me find my family. He wasn't calling them and saying, have you found out anything? Can you help me with anything? He was just very aloof and didn't seem interested at all in finding his family, which we all saw that, right? That's crazy, Leah, because I was told even on Scott's channel, it said it wasn't going to release till the 9th. So that's awesome that you got it early. I'm jealous. I didn't know. I mean, it's not even coming out on audiobook until I think the 8th. So you're a lucky girl, Leah. You're lucky. So she said that Tuesday night, they, like I said, they waited to do a polygraph. They really wanted to do it that Tuesday night when they saw that he was talking about these kids in past tense by looking at pictures, but they decided to wait till the next day. So that night he left the station. They stayed. So after he left and he went to go stay at the Thayer's house before he went to go get his dad, they started combing through his phone that night. and through Shanann's phone. So they seen all the messages of her telling all her friends that Chris is acting different, Chris is strange. And they saw in Chris's phone the messages between him and NK and the calculator app. And that night they found everything they needed for the investigation to just start rolling. The police did roadside canvases when they thought that the women were missing. So the police did their jobs. They brought the canine dogs in, they did the canvases. I mean, when they were a missing person, they did their jobs. And they did their jobs all the way up until the plea. But then after that, they were just like, really, there's no reason for us to continue, nor are there any resources. Even though we all have these unanswered questions, nobody wants to take their own time or resources to follow up. And they even admitted that in this episode, that since Chris took the plea deal so long, that they didn't even get to prepare for a trial. They didn't get to interview more witnesses. They didn't get answers to questions that they had because Chris helped it in so quickly. And so they were all just left wondering. And that's why they went to Wisconsin. But when Chris and his dad came to the station on that Wednesday, they knew all about NK and that he was lying for the past 3 days. Tammy knew all about the affair when she polygraphed Chris. So the whole time she's sitting there asking him these questions and polygraphing him in the pre-interview, she knew about Nikki. She said that she knew, but she didn't want to say anything to Chris about Nikki because Chris could at any point during any of this polygraph, these interviews, he could say, you know what, I don't want to talk anymore. I want a lawyer. So they did not push him as hard as they wanted to because he could have lawyered up. And so that was another interesting tidbit that I didn't really pick up, that's why they were so soft with him. That's why they were so encouraging. And because they didn't want him to lawyer up. They wanted him. That's why they didn't immediately ask him all these questions about Nikki, because they were scared that he would lawyer up and not tell them where the girls were. Or Shanann, for that matter. Sorry, I have to keep doing that, you guys. But my sinuses are killing me. Okay, so she pretended to not know. Tammy Lee said that the pretest lasted 3 hours. She wanted him to know that the gig is up. Chris's polygraph, you guys wanted, a couple of people wanted to know this. She told on this episode what Chris scored on his polygraph. Okay, so somebody that is not lying on a polygraph will score in the +2 range. All right, when you take your computer out like she did, and she told Chris she was going to score it. Well, when she did her little scoring, if you are not being deceptive, your range will come out somewhere around the +2 range. Well, if you are being deceptive, you will come in the +4 or in the -4 range. So if you're not being deceptive, it would be in the +2 range. If you are being deceptive, it would be in the -4 range. All right. Guess what Chris's was in? You guys aren't going to believe it. There's 81 here, people watching. Hit that like button, you guys. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. We're reading the discovery here. We're going over Chris Watts' interviews. You do not have to have the same opinion as me. You are free to tell your theories here. You are free to talk in my comment section. There's no fighting. There's no bashing here. You do not have to agree with the next person. My subscribers all have different theories from one another. So this is a community where you can share your thoughts and opinions, and they're wanted and it matters. So what else do you guys think? Chronic Life got it. It was -18. He scored -18. She said that he missed every single one of the questions on the test, and that just with a -4 they would have known that he was lying. But Chris scored a -18, just like Chronic Life said. Yes. And a lot of people wondered what he scored on his polygraph. Well, Tammy Lee told in this episode. And even after me going over it, it's an hour and a half long episode. I highly recommend you watch it if you can. I'm only giving you a 4-page summary of it, so I'm not really giving away a whole lot, but I am giving you the stuff that we haven't already seen. She said that I already told you that he failed every single question, right? Someone telling the truth would score in the +2 range. Then they went into the interrogation mode. After he failed the polygraph, she said that they went into interrogation mode. That after he failed, she was no longer his friend and was there for the truth. Tammy Lee said that Coder and her, that when you're trying to get a confession out of somebody, that there are some points of victim blaming. And that, remember in the interview where we saw when they were trying to get Chris to confess, they were like, what did she push you to do? Shanann seemed like the type of girl that got to do whatever she wants. She seemed controlling. Tammy Lee explained that in her interview on this Oxygen channel. She said that when you're getting a confession, that you have to kind of do a little bit of victim blaming so that the criminal or the person that you're trying to get the confession from kind of doesn't feel as bad about what they're doing, and it's easier to get the confession out of them if you do a little bit of victim blaming, because you're kind of making it easier for them to confess, because you're making it seem to them that you understand in a way, and that victim blaming is part of their tactic. That neither one of them felt the way that about Shanann, but it was just part of the way of getting the confession. And they never really thought that. She admits that before Chris asked for his dad, that he looked deflated. He looked like he was just tired of holding up this facade and carrying this lie. That right before, when he asked for his dad, that she could just see it in him that he was ready to give up. Thank you, Pharmacy. So they admit in this interview that are in this episode on Oxygen that they were very conflicted about letting Ronnie come into the room after the polygraph. That it was a split-second decision that they had to make. There was no time to call their supervisor to ask if it was okay if Ronnie came in there. There was no time to really ask for permission. It was a split-second decision that they had to make. Now, they would have gotten in trouble if Ronnie would have came in there and said, listen, you need to shut up. You're my son. I want to protect you. We're getting you a lawyer. Don't tell them anything. But Ronnie didn't do that. So that they were really like playing with fire here and risking this whole confession by letting Ronnie come into the room, because Ronnie could have shut the whole thing down by telling Chris that he needed to stop talking. That they kind of put everything at risk when they did allow Ronnie to come in, because they knew that Chris was starting to talk. He was starting to say that this or that, and he took responsibility for killing Shanann at that point. And so it was something that they battled with when it came to whether or not they should let Ronnie come in. And the fact that they did, and Chris did end up telling him, they were happy that it ended up going that way. But there was parts of them in the back of their mind that was worried about how the whole thing could just been shut down in that moment. Yes, the score is bad. So, they watched from the live feed room where they could see him and Chris talking, but they were being so quiet, she said, that they had to listen intensively. It was very hard for them to hear what they were saying when Chris was talking to Ronnie. Tammy was outraged and disgusted on the inside, and she felt sick. she said that you can, when she's talking about it on this Oxygen special, you guys, she starts crying. You can see that it's genuine hurt, that this case has affected her deeply, and that she will never be the same again. It is so sad to see her hurt and pain in her eyes, and when she's just telling the story, she's so genuine. And so she started crying, saying that she knew that in that moment when he was telling these things to his dad, that when they were watching through the live feed, that everyone's lives were about to be changed forever. She knew that. She said that you can tell, or I wrote down that you can tell that Tammy Lee is severely affected by this tragedy and everything that she saw from this point forward, from him telling his dad these things and her having to hear what he did to this precious, pregnant, beautiful woman and these children, and then having to see them come out of the tanks, and then all of that. They even looked in the top of the tank, she said, and that they thought that Chris was possibly lying again. And when they couldn't see the girls through the hatch, and there was a lot of fumes from the oil, so that was blocking their vision as well. But when they looked down the hatch, they couldn't see the girls. But you guys see how big those tanks are and how long they are. So your vision would not allow that with all the fumes. And so when they finally found them, though, she said that she will never be able to get that image out of her head for the rest of her life of what those precious baby girls look like when they got pulled out. So sad. So she said once the autopsy came back, they knew Chris was lying for certain. NK actually called into the tip line and turned herself in, you guys. On that Wednesday, before Chris came in for his polygraph, NK had called in on the tip line, you guys, and turned herself in and said, "Hey, I'm the other woman." Even though they had already found out the night before, all night long, they were going through all of the emails. Plus, her employer had contacted her employer had contacted law enforcement that morning as well at 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning and told them about the messages that they had found between Chris and NK. So the jig is up. And so she calls and turns herself in. How convenient that the day her employer rats her out, and the night after they are going through his computer, his phone, and every electronic that they had seized from his house the day before on Tuesday, they knew all about her. She conveniently calls the tip line. I didn't know this. This was news to me, but Tammy Lee said this on that episode, that NK called and turned herself in on the tip line, you guys. I did not know that. Did you? And Tammy Lee said that she said essentially, "I'm the other woman." And prosecution and law enforcement was preparing for a trial when Chris Watts pled guilty. They were glad it was over, but in a sense, they felt like it was just not finished. Tammy Lee said they went to Wisconsin to get the girls' stories and to hear him say that Shanann did not kill the girls. Tammy said that she cried more for the girls than Chris has. And he deserves to hear Bella's voice every night saying, "Daddy, no." Because, Chris said in the book that he hears Bella's voice every night telling him, "Daddy, no," because that's what she said to him right before he smothered her with the blanket. And so Tammy Lee said she's glad and that that's what he deserves and that's what he gets, and that she hopes that he hears it every night. After the case was over, she said that she went into her bedroom and she fell to her knees and that she just broke down. And she does believe that the version Chris told in Wisconsin is the truth, because it made him look so bad and so horrible that she doesn't believe that he wasn't telling the truth. That there was no way he wasn't telling the truth, because it was the worst version that Chris had given. And she knows that he doesn't like to make himself look bad. And so she honestly feels that what he said in Wisconsin was the truth, because he wouldn't have said it if it wasn't the truth. So, and that was it, you guys. She said that nothing about this case makes sense to her, and that she has been terribly affected. And you can see in her, expressions during this episode that she is, it really did hurt her emotionally and everything. And I just feel bad for all involved, anyone and everyone that had to watch those girls being pulled from those tanks. They deserve some kind of justice. And I just feel like that there hasn't been much at all. Oh. When was this on? It was on at 6 p.m. in North Carolina. I don't know about anywhere else, but it was on the Oxygen channel, you guys, and it's called Criminal Confessions. You might be able to get it on iTunes. If you go to the Oxygen channel on iTunes and then go to their series and look up Criminal Confessions, you might be able to get season 3, episode 1 of Criminal Confessions. That's what it's called, Criminal Confessions on Oxygen. And it might be on the Oxygen app tomorrow. Sometimes these apps will put the episodes on 24 hours after. It might even be on demand tomorrow. If you have, cable that has on demand, you can just go to the Oxygen on demand channel and then go to Criminal Confessions, and it should be there. I'm hoping. But it was basically a lot of the body cam stuff that we've already seen. That's how they build up the story in the episode. They tell you all about the story by leading a narrative through the body cam, and they play the 911 call of NK, and then they let Tammy Lee tell when she came into the narrative. And so they just pretty much use body cam. But they show Chris going into the house that day, but they do not show Chris getting into the car. And I wish people would talk about that. I wish people would, discuss the fact that he got into that car for something and no one stopped him. Like, the police didn't say, hey, what are you doing? We get inside or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know. And also I wanted to let my subscribers know that when I'm reading the discovery, you guys, unfortunately, I'm not able to read chat because we have 1,900 and something pages to go through when I'm reading discovery. And when I first started this channel, if you are an early subscriber and you were here with me from the beginning, I used to record my videos and upload them and didn't do them live. And so I never was able to read chat when I recorded my videos. So the fact that I'm even on here doing these videos instead of recording them and uploading them should be enough for you guys, that if I'm reading discovery and I don't read the chat, then you understand that I'm just trying to get the discovery read and out here so people have a place to go back and look. My biggest problem is that a lot of people are commenting on my channel, it's in discovery this, and I've never seen that in discovery. And so I want you guys to have an honest to goodness place to go back and look. If someone says, oh, it's on page 550 of discovery, you can come back to my channel, find that on that page number of discovery, and hear me read it to you. And so you won't have to flip through 1,900 pages of whatever to fact check. And this will be a good place for you guys to fact check. Plus, I do not put ads on this kind of stuff. So you're not going to have to sit through ads when you're filtering, trying to find something for this case. I read the Chris Watts book in my own words to you guys. I'm getting ready to get the Daddy is a Hero book, and I will do the same thing with that. I've covered all of Dr. Phil's The Devil Beside Me. I have, anything and everything about this case. I've got you guys. So I just want to let you know that when I'm reading Discovery, I'm not going to be able to read the chat. And if it upsets people, I'm sorry. And I can always go back to just reading Discovery for 30 minutes, uploading it, and not doing it live if I'm going to, step on your toes by doing that. All right. Thank you, guys. Just wanted to let you know. Melissa has it in her Facebook group to watch. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Go watch it there. Where Tracy's talking about, you guys. I'm too scared to get copyright to have it in any group or anywhere. And I don't do Facebook anymore, you guys. I don't even run my business off of Facebook anymore. And I had a group on Facebook for my nails with like 500 people in it, but I don't even run that anymore. I do all my marketing right here with you guys because you guys have shown me more love than the people on my Facebook that know me for decades. So I just feel more comfortable here sharing my pop-up shops and my nails and my Mary Kay with you guys. I have a fire stick. I'm going to check it out. Good, Miss T. Also, and why didn't Chris allow the cop and NA in through the garage and get into the home? Exactly, because he wanted that little bit of time, Cynthia B, that he had in there. I think that's when he ran upstairs and put the ring on the nightstand, or he ran upstairs and shoved the phone in the couch, or he cleaned something up from before, or he ran and let someone out. I mean, who knows? He did something in that freaking house before he opened that door. We all sat there awkwardly on that body cam waiting on Chris to open that door with the cop and Nicole Atkinson as if we were there with them. And it was not immediate. And the garage was here and the front door is here. So hello, he ran up those stairs and he opened that door winded. Thank you, guys. You guys are all awesome too. You looked up Criminal Confessions. It might be on there tomorrow. Usually it's never on demand or on the app or the website until 24 hours after it's aired. They always usually want you to watch it like the repeat on the channel. So they don't ever put that kind of stuff right away. I know when I'm watching Grey's Anatomy on demand, I have to wait a week. Like they won't put it on until a new one is coming out. It's crazy. It was spastic, Jim. You got that right. Don't you all wish we could rewind time in so many ways? NK needed a polygraph. I concur. 1000%. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and jump into Discovery. Why I have you all here. My granddaughter is here, so if I have to run, if she wakes up, I will have to hurry up and go and quit. But if she doesn't wake up, we can read Discovery for a while. All right. You're so sweet, Chronic Life. I know. I got some great mods. I'm a lucky lady. I need to blow my nose before I start reading. How much for the cough? Huh. I'm making these little things too so I can display my nails, you guys. The different designs and stuff. So I've been a busy little bee. Plus, I didn't get my car back today, and today it was my fault. I didn't get my car back today because I slept until like noon, and the shop closes. Me and my son both. So I have blackout curtains, and so it was really dark in the house, and we slept till noon, and the shop closes at noon, so I wasn't able to get my car, and it was my own fault. So I'll get it on Monday. Paula, I did not get to mail your package out because my car did not. I went to pick it up and it was still doing the same thing. And I'd already paid the $1,179. And so I took it right back to him and was like, oh no, you need to, you didn't do something. And so he's finished fixing it for me. And on Monday, I will get your package out, Paula. Okay, love? I think they did too, Ty D. But Tammy Lee pointed out the reason why they do that, though. The reason why they use soft gloves and kid gloves on these people is because they want them to continue talking to them without a lawyer. If you're mean to them, if you're just like grilling them, it's going to scare them and it's going to make them want a lawyer, and then you're going to get nothing out of them. So that was another thing that I learned on the episode, is that they do that on purpose. Yeah, they do that on purpose so they don't lawyer up. Hot tea and vitamin C. You got it, baby love. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Paula, for being so patient. I thought at first at Julie Johnson, but nothing came of it. Of course, they could have predicted he would plead guilty. Something was wrong in the house, or something was in the house. But that whole event and time of him alone in the house was very telling and holds information we may never know. I agree, Chronic Life. Yeah, something's up. Something, I think that a ritual or some kind of weird thing happened there, and it just opened up Pandora's box, and it invited some really dark stuff into that home. And I think that's why Bella was having a hard time sleeping, and she would keep getting up. She kept getting up when the babysitter was there. She kept getting up the next night when Shanann was supposed to be coming home. And so I think that Chris brought whatever dark, weird crap that he was doing with NK back home to his house. I know they don't need NK after he pled guilty, nor do they care. But we do. There's a lot of us that do. There's a lot of us that want to know. I have a list. Let me get my list. And if she can answer these questions for us, then none of us will ever worry about her again. None of us will. If she could just answer us why these things are. No, she barely let him by near her apartment, Stephanie Smith. In Discovery, it says that NK was picked up by the police near her apartment. For one, why didn't she ride with her dad? He was going there. Why did she ride with law enforcement? And for two, why did they pick her up near her home instead of at her home? It's okay, AAA. You're welcome to feel that way here, and you could possibly be right. That's the thing about my channel, is that everybody's opinion matters because we have no solid proof on whose opinion is facts. So I want as many theories as you can possibly give me, because one of us is right. Not all of us can be right. And I'm not saying what I think happened is right. So what you think happened could be right. if that makes any sense, if I'm making any sense by saying that. So you saying that, I'm sorry if this offended you, but all of Chris Watts' case is a staged occurrence. I hope you look at that. A lot of the conspiracy theorist people think that it is staged, and you could be right. Just like I could be right about the fact that NK knew that he was planning this. She knew it and almost implanted it in his head. So if I want you to embrace what I'm saying, why wouldn't I embrace what you're saying? So I have to keep an open mind here. And I don't ever want people to think that I'm going to be offended by your opinion or by what you think happened. Because if I am, then you should all be offended by what I'm saying, because it doesn't line up with what you think. And that's not right. We'll never get to the bottom of it having narrow-minded thinking that what we think is the only thing that's right. And I welcome any and all opinions. Okay, what do you mean? Exactly, Brandy. And I am too, to an extent. Do you think if Chris Watts throws him under, yeah, I think if he finally steps up and says something, Jersey Angel, of course, yeah, they better. They'd be ignorant not to. If Watts admits to spending a month at NK's apartment, I don't get why her place wasn't gone through. I agree, Stephanie. They stayed away from her place. There's not one video or body cam of her house or her apartment or anything. Wow, Mama, you are quicker than Amazon. I got my nails and earrings today. I love them and already did my nails. Pretty easy. Yay, Tracy! Chris Watts going his grave, lots of secrets. I agree. Julie Johnson, you would hit that nail on the head. I missed you too, Brandy. The term conspiracy theorist has been twisted to make people think that any such person is crazy. I think that's dismissive. Yes, I agree, Jim Misfit. Totally. And I said, I am a conspiracy theorist to a degree because there are degrees of it, personally. Thank you, Melissa. NK was not investigated fully. She had so much info that didn't make sense. She deflected way too much. Yeah, they didn't check her apartment, and they also didn't download the information out of her new phone that she was using, her new Android. She deleted her Apple and said, here you go, you guys can have this one. And then she got a new phone, and they wanted to download out of that one, and she goes, oh, I forgot the password. I'm so sorry. And they never went back and made her give them the information from her Android phone. Just the phone that she deleted gone through. NK may have cop relative, maybe, but don't know. Julie Johnson, it's true. Cops do look out for each other. It's almost like, and my dad was a police officer. And let me give you guys a story of how they do it. I was 2 weeks from turning 21. My friend was drinking and driving and pulled out of a parking lot and hit a telephone pole. Well, I saw nobody was around, and I said, let's just get out of here. I don't want to deal with the police. He didn't either. And so I walked around the car, got in the driver's seat, backed off the pole, and drove the car off. Well, police officers watched me do this, okay? They allowed me to do all this, didn't pull me over or stop it all. They watched it all happen and let me drive off, pulled us over 1 foot down the road, and gave my friend a ticket, impounded his car. I was only 20 years old. It was 2 weeks before my 21st birthday, and I blew a .06. And they said, listen, we're going to give you an underage drinking while operating a motor vehicle ticket. And we are going to And then they looked at my ID and they saw who I was, and they were like, "Oh my God, are you Roger's daughter?" And I told them, yes, I was. And they said, "Well, we're going to radio your dad. We look out for one another, and our kids, cops' kids," they straight up told me this, you guys. Cops look out for each other's kids. And we're going to radio your dad, and we're going to see what he says. Well, the second they radioed my dad, because he was chief of police of this town couple towns over, and I heard him loud and clear on the scanner while I was in the back seat of this cop car. And they said, "We've got your daughter here. She pulled away from an accident. She blew a .06. We're going to release her. If you just say that that's what you want, we're just calling to give you a heads up and let you know that we can release her with a warning if you think we should." Well, my dad, being the dad that he is, he said, "Take her ASS to jail." And I got the ticket because of my dad, but they were going to let me off the hook. So you guys could possibly be right that NK did not get her apartment searched. She didn't get a polygraph because she was related to a cop. It's true. Everyone morph into the same person. I respectfully disagree with that. Uh-oh, what's going on? Stephanie, look at this channel called the Unscrambled Channel. My Colorado friends have said something was staged too. How odd. They said the house was vacant before this all started. They built the house. The house was vacant because Chris and Shanann built it from the ground up, and they had to get all their inspections. Trust me, when I got my home, I picked everything out in my home too, and it sat where I was supposed to live, and I kept saying, "Why can't I move in? Why can't it's just sitting there? It's ready. The lights are turned on. Why can't I move in?" And they said that it had to pass this inspection. These people had to come out, and so it didn't sit there vacant. They built that home from the ground up. So what? Who's saying no one was killed, Stephanie? Let's see. What are you saying? He is Scott Lane, who looks like Chris Watts. A lot of names in this case are Nico and Nicole, same found. Nick Thayer, Nicole, same person. Yeah, we all know that about that. Okay, I don't got time for all that. AA is wanting to be a model. Well, here, let me just fix this real quick. Okay, there we go. I want to talk about facts, you guys, and I do believe in conspiracy theories. I'm a firm believer in that. But we are not going to, it's just like politics. People that are wanting to bring that into my channel or push their religion on other people or push their beliefs on abortion or gay marriage or any of that will be blocked and deleted. Okay, let's just focus on what we're doing here. There are plenty of channels that get deep into this case like that you are welcome to go listen to. Heck, I listen to them sometimes just to see what they're saying. So you're more than welcome to go there and do that, but we are not doing that here. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's see. They need to get Chris Watts out of that cushy prison and send him somewhere hardcore, and then maybe he'll start talking. Yes, Tracy, I am a firm believer in what you said. Real people have been traumatized by these murders. Thank you, Halo Effect. I agree. I totally believe it happened. What, love? You totally believe what happened, Brandy? We're just going to ignore everything AAA said. I mean, I spent hours waiting on AAA. I gave up on AAA a long time ago, you guys. 4 hours waiting on them to come get my keys unlocked out of my car. So we don't like AAA. Okay. Why am I sick, Julie? Yes, of course. Yes, of course they did, Brandy. Yeah, people are crazy. Yeah, he's blocked, or she's blocked, or it's blocked, or whatever. All right, let's jump into Discovery where we were, you guys. We were on page 559 of 1,900 and something pages. And since it's being redacted on a daily basis, from what I can tell, I started printing them out. Now, it is costly for ink and paper and all of that. This is only printed to 800. So I still have 1,000 pages to print, you guys, but I have to just do it a little bit at a time. But I do want to try to hurry up and get everything printed out. So as it's being didacted, it won't be didacted from ours. And I want to get through what we're reading now so I can get to these letters of these women that are writing Chris, so we can see if we think any of them are NK. I printed all of it, every bit of it. All right. Leave AAA alone. Okay, Winter Monique. Yes, it is. Thank you, Julie Johnson. Okay. Winter Monique. If you want AAA to be left alone, then you can be blocked too. How you like them apples? You like apples? How you like them apples? Let's see. Okay, that's fine. All right, then that's funny. Thank you, Winter Monique. All right, I'm about cleaning these glasses, wouldn't you say? We're going to get on with it. Get on with Discovery. I'm going to read them as long as I can before I can't breathe. Okay. They're still dirty, man. I guess paper towels don't get them that clean. When you're old, you need specs. You need some specs. All right. We got 128 people. Hit that like button. Subscribe. So basically, this interview in Discovery, this is the Discovery, you guys. We're reading page 559, not of the actual Discovery, but when you go and get the Discovery in PDF form, you will see the pages as you scroll, and that is the page number we are going by. So, I asked Chris. All right, this is Tammy Lee talking, I think. Oh no, this is Cassie giving her account of what happened. She asked Chris that he was spending more time away from home, and Cassie said that Chris was an introvert, and Shanann would have to push him to go have dinner or drinks with the guys. Chris was working out and running a lot more. He runs around the neighborhood. Cassie thought he had a gym membership, but did not know where. Shanann got him weights and elliptical for the house. Cassie said that Shanann wore the pants in the family. Cassie said that on Saturday night, Shanann was clear with her fear that Chris was cheating on her. Cassie talked with the babysitter and learned that Chris was not home from the baseball game yet. There was a charge alert that came through for a place about 15 minutes from their house. It was over $60 and it did not sound right to Shanann. An hour after Shanann got the charge alert, Chris was still not home, though the place was 15 minutes from the house. Cassie and Nicole were also in fear that Chris was cheating on Shanann. Shanann then talked with Chris in the room, but did not drill him over it. Cassie said that Shanann is not the type of person to be able to hold her emotions in. Cassie said that Shanann did not say there was any mention of her and Chris separating before she left Arizona. They agreed to counseling while she was in Arizona. Cassie said that Chris is a great guy, but there are no others to be concerned about regarding Shanann's disappearance. Cassie recalled Chris's voice when he was telling her not to call the police or to get them involved. Cassie told me that Chris refuses to drive the work truck onto the driveway because he was concerned with getting oil from the tires on the driveway. Cassie and Josh were in staying at the Watts house at the end of May in 2018, and Cassie offered to park on the street to allow Chris to park in the driveway, but he declined. He said that he never pulls into the driveway because he did not want any oil from the oil fields messing up the driveway. Cassie had learned from Nicole that Chris backed into the driveway on the morning of 8/13. Cassie said that when she was staying at their house, Chris never loaded or unloaded anything from his truck, and they were there from May 24th to May 28th. Cassie saw Chris come home from work Thursday evening and did not pull into the driveway. He left for work Friday morning and returned Friday evening without pulling into the driveway. He left for work Monday morning, Memorial Day, and his truck was gone before Cassie left. Cassie knew that Shanann would flip out if Chris opened the garage door in the morning because the girls were light sleepers and she did not want the door to wake them. He used the front door to leave for work in the mornings. Cassie told me that her gut tells her that Shanann and the girls are not alive because it's not possible given their pattern of life that she knows. Cassie forwarded the police screenshots of her text communication pertinent to this case. The agent reviewed the text, and there was a text on, let's see, this would be July 9th, that Cassie asked Shanann about a post about Cece and is concerned. And then on July 9th again, Shanann replies to explain a disagreement with her mother-in-law regarding the children and allergies. And then Shanann says she wants Chris to say something to his mom about the food incident, but his mom talks over him. Shanann says that her and her mother-in-law, have had it out for 8 years. Shanann says she is different with her hubby when her hubby is around and her daughter. Shanann says her daughter is the golden child and her kids. Shanann says Chris was chopped liver his whole life. Cassie suggests Chris confront his mother. And then the text in there. Go on Reddit. Type it in, get it on Reddit, Melissa Curtis. You can go on Reddit and get it. The PDF form is there if you want the PDF form. But it is on the Denver Post. It's not, I don't think it's Denver 7 anymore. I think it got taken down from that channel. It's on Denver Post, and it's on the Reddit. you guys, if you're looking for it. And I also put a link for it on one of the videos. I did put a link down below. I just can't remember which one. I think it's when I first started reading the Discovery. So if you go back and you look at Discovery 401 to 501, I think it's under there. There's a link for it. There's lots of people covering the case, Triggered McNuggets. Oh, then why are you asking us where to find it, Melissa? If you already have it. What's wrong with Document Cloud, where you found it? Anyway, all you guys got to do is go to Google and type in Chris Watts Discovery. If you can't find it that way, then type in Chris Watts Discovery PDF, and then you can find the printable version. Okay, so that's what you got to do, Brandy. You go to Denver Post, and they have it there if you just want to read it. And you can find the link for that in my last video that I did, Chris Watts Discovery 401 to 501. Okay, go find that video, and there's a direct link underneath it to get the Discovery. But if you want to print it, then you have to go to Google and type in Chris Watts Discovery PDF, and you can find it on Reddit. All right, so Cassie suggests Chris confronts his mother. Shanann says she got, okay, so then that's how that day's text ends. And then they text again on July 15th, and Shanann says that she got home from Celeste's birthday party and the in-laws were a no-show. And Shanann says that they are out of her kid's life now. Shanann says she wants to block them. Cassie says she would keep them on Facebook, but would not talk to them or make it a point to be around them for anything. Shanann says she does not ever want to see them again. And that was the end of the text on the 15th. And then on August the 3rd, 10 days before Shanann was murdered, Cassie asked Shanann if she got all of her text messages. Shanann responds that she did and that it's been a rough day. And Cassie asks why it was rough. And then Shanann says that they then discuss possibly a home. And Cassie says they do not want to be in their home for any longer than a month, as they do not want to put them out. And then Shanann says that they would not put them out and that she cannot explain on text and that it's not a good time. And that's the end of the text for that day. And then on August 5th, Shanann sends a text that said she sent to Chris about the incident in NC between her and his parents about their children. Shanann is not sorry for what she said to his mother and says that she loves her kids. Shanann then also addresses the distance between her and Chris in the text. Also, she texts, "From the day I left, you never said I missed you before I said it. Something changed when I left. You may be happier alone, and that's fine." This is a text that she sent Cassie, showing what she sent to Chris. You hope I don't mind what, Tracy? Yes, his name is Gage, Gaige, like Paige, and he is 8, and he has high functioning autism and ADHD. So he likes like the randomest stuff. He likes puzzles. He likes Legos. He likes Connect Four. He's just magnets. He collects little bitty rock gems. Any kind of gem rocks, loves those. Night, Becca. Or did they say you were going to bed? Okay. Good night, love. No, I don't mind at all, Tracy. Not at all. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. He will love that. And it'll be like his first mail, too, because he's never gotten mail. I'm so sorry about my nose, you guys, but the one time I used that nose spray, I got the worst headache. I can't remember which brand I used, but it gave me the worst headache. I love Legos too. Oh, yay, Tracy. That's awesome. She says, you can be alone. This pregnancy, you have failed to acknowledge it or to acknowledge how I'm feeling. The first trimester is the scariest and most dangerous, yet we can lose this baby at any point till delivery. I'm not going to be treated this way for having the balls to protect our family and kids. I should get a gold effing medal for handling it the way that I did. I had a lot of choice words I wanted to say to her and your dad for his stupidity. No one stands up to your mom and dad for that. He's just as guilty by not doing anything. I have nothing to do with him. Stop sharing memories of his grandkids. Why does that have to do with me? I'm their mother and I will protect them. I have enough to worry about with the world out there. I'm not going to worry about family. I will just remove it. And then they don't know what date that this text came in, but Shanann told Cassie that is what she texts Chris in the middle of the night. Cassie asked what Chris said, and Shanann said he said nothing. And then she said he replied that he loves the kids. He asked Shanann if the kids could see his parents, and she told him no. She said she is standing her ground. She said that they have not made contact in 4 weeks. They no-showed for her party, and they said nothing for her birthday. Cassie expressed that she is shocked that Chris has not said a word about what she said to him. Cassie said that he needs to open up and talk to Shanann about everything, clear the air and work on it, and then work on the issues with his parents. Shanann says that she's been trying to talk to him for 4 days and he has not said anything in return. Shanann says it's okay. Cassie asks if that is really what she and he wants. Shanann says it's not, but she also is not going to live like this. She's not going to be ignored and not loved. Let me try to blow my nose, you guys. This is really frustrating that it's so clogged. Ugh. Blow my sinus out. What did I end up doing? Oh. Woo! All right. Just make sure I don't got no booties. Yep. I had one right on my nose. Okay. Hit that subscribe button, 128 people. Okay, so then on the 5th of August, Shanann says he's going to his parents tomorrow. Cassie suggests they talk with someone when they get home, as throwing away what they have together is not okay. Shanann says she cannot and will not fight alone. She needs a man that has the balls to protect his family, even when it comes to his own blood. Shanann says he is a totally different person from the guy she has known for 8 years. Shanann says she would not change a thing and calls herself a saint for not telling his mom that she's a narcissist, stupid B word, and just said that they were done and never coming back. And then discussions, they will see each other on Friday or talked about that same day, and that they'll split a room. And then the next day on the 6th, Shanann says that she's dizzy, lightheaded, and nauseous. And she then says she has not pooped in weeks due to constipation. So this here makes me think that that he drugged her the whole time he was there. Because he first got there on the 1st of August, I believe. Chris did. And he admits to drugging her the first night that he got to North Carolina with the Oxy 80s, right? And so she said that she hasn't used the bathroom in weeks. I think that he was putting it in her balance as well, like other people are saying, because an Oxy 80 will make you constipated, you guys. So if he would gave her more than one, then she definitely was having some residual effects from it. And also her feeling lightheaded, dizzy, and nauseous are side effects from Oxy. And so that was on the 6th. That was the night before they flew back home. Yes, I do giveaways every 500 subscribers. And I might be giving away Sherilyn's book if somebody wants it. I can always give this away because I sure don't want it. But yeah, I think that when she texted Cassie here on the 6th that he had given it to her again because it didn't work when he first got there. So he was going to try again. And she texted Cassie right before she came back home from Colorado while they were still in North Carolina that she was dizzy, lightheaded, and nauseous. And she then says that she was constipated. So on that same day, Shanann sends a screenshot of her flight itinerary at for the 10th to Denver, from Denver to Phoenix, for her to go to the Arizona Thrive trip. And she's supposed to come back the night of the 12th. On 8/6, which is that same day, there is a do not disturb while driving text from Shanann to Cassie. Shanann replies that Chris is driving, not her. Shanann said that they were headed to see his grandma, and then she was taking the girls as he goes to his parents. Cassie asked if he was going to talk with them about the issue and work it out, and Shanann replied, "Who knows? You can't protect someone you're not in love with anymore. He doesn't have the balls." Shanann tells Cassie that his parents do not love the way he loves them and that he is wanting their love and attention so much and they do not give it. He is seeking their approval, according to Shanann. Shanann tells Cassie that he is so cold and not the guy that she has been with for the past 8 years. And then Cassie tells Shanann that she talked with Josh and he wanted to try to talk with Chris, but won't because he's not supposed to know what is going on. How was the oxygen special with the detectives? And hair fix, if you dial it back, you can hear what happened on the oxygen special. I covered it in this live. Yes, I'm definitely going to share that Bible, you guys. It's a mental health diagnosis Bible, a mental health Bible, and the author of the book, My Daddy is a Hero, said that you can get this book, and so I got it on Amazon, and it's called the Mental Illness Bible. That's the slang for it, but it's really called the DSM. And so I'm definitely going to be sharing that with you guys, especially in the book that I get, My Daddy is a Hero. She says that she kind of breaks down Chris's mental health or whatever in the book, and so we'll be able to follow it with this DSM. Yes, it was better than the ID special. It was really good. You guys should watch the Oxygen Criminal Confession Season 3, Episode 1. Yeah, I cried with Tammy, Tracy. I cried with Tammy. I also cried when she cried. Let me go turn my heat down and I'll come back and finish reading. So then right after that, Shanann texts back and said, I told him I don't know who this person is, but the person I left 7 weeks ago would have answered differently. She asked Chris, why are you married to me? And he said, because we love each other. He said that's all he can think of to say at the moment. I told him why I married him and why I still married to him with a few paragraphs, not a mutual answer. I said, you love me because I'm the mother of your kids. You're not in love with me. I told him I think he enjoyed single life too well, and that I think he may realize he prefers to be alone. He's not in love with me. A person still madly in love can find what to say. He responded, I don't want to lose the kids. I walked away in tears since I couldn't take anymore. If you are done, don't love me. Don't want to work this out. You're not happy anymore and only staying because of the kids. I need you to tell me. There was also a screenshot of text from the right side. Apparent sender is Shanann. I don't know how you fell out of love with me in 5.5 weeks or if this has been going on for a long time, but you don't plan another baby if you're not in love. Kids don't deserve a broken family. I left you, you couldn't take your hands off me. You show up and I have to practically ask you for a kiss in the airport. Being away from you, it's not the help I missed because I handled that. It was exhausting, but with school, that's not hard. I miss the smell of you. You touching me when I'm cooking. You touch me in bed. You touching me, period. I miss holding you and snuggling with you. I miss eating with you, watching TV with you. I miss staring at you. I miss making love with you. I miss everything about you. I couldn't wait to touch you, hold you, kiss you, make love to you, smell you, laugh. Shanann said she texted that the previous night after she could not take anymore. Shanann told Cassie that she knows he is not good at conflict and avoids it at all costs and is better at writing his feelings than talking them at times. Shanann planned to see how he was that night. Shanann told Cassie she told him that life is about making tough choices and that he cannot fight for someone he does not love. She told him he was going to have to step out of his comfort zone and defend and protect his family. Shanann said that's all he said, and was that he knew. And the discussion about Cassie feeling sick and making sure Nicole orders and gets lunch and a headshot if she wants and RSVPs. I guess they're talking about the event in Arizona. They said case closed when he. Hold on. I think this show was done to clear Shanann's name. They said case closed when he pled guilty. Yep, they did. How do you spell her name? Who? Which one? The author or Tammy Lee? Miss T, if they're using these to calm has down, not working well, we are saddened but still left with all the questions. I hate how NK never gave Shanann any respect after she knew she was gone. After all she did to Shanann and said she could never say her name and talked of her like she was less than. Yeah, I know. It bothers me so much. Ronnie did the same thing with Shanann. He badmouthed her knowing she was gone. Who does that? That guy said they were confident NK did not have anything to do with this, but they need to tell us why they believe that. I think that guy is friends with Dwayne Kessinger, Tracy Pat. I think that's why he said that. I think Dwayne Kessinger wanted him to say that on this episode to get people to leave her alone. Yeah. I think that was purposely put on that episode by that guy himself. I don't think Tammy Lee or anybody else feels that way. I think that guy that said it and law enforcement in that department feels that way because they know Dwayne Kessinger. Chronic, I agree 100%, but I think they're trying to push the idea for us to stop digging and move on with the case. It also could hinder the case if they have NK in the crosshairs. Exactly. Well, we know the Watts are 100% classless. Exactly. Okay, so then on August 7th, Cassie asked Shanann how everything was after Chris was at his parents' house, and Shanann replied that it was a long story and that she was in the car on the way to the airport, and Shanann says she'll call Cassie tomorrow. Shanann texts Cassie a photo of a house for sale, and they discuss mortgage issues as Cassie has a foreclosure on her history. And then that same day, Shanann shares that Celeste is 37 pounds and Bella is 40 pounds. And then Cassie asked how the ultrasound went. And Shanann replied, he said we're not compatible anymore. He refused to hug me, said he thought another baby would fix his feelings, said he refused couples counseling. Cassie said that was a load of crap, and Shanann said she cannot take anymore. She said he said that he had a lot of time to reflect his feelings, and that he said a few months. Shanann did not get it. Shanann said that he has never called her Shanann till this week. Shanann said that Nicole knows. Shanann told Cassie that she wants to know what changed, and there were no signs of anything wrong. Zero. There was sex all the time, talking about going places and doing things. He just says he does not feel it anymore. Shanann asked Cassie how she makes him feel compatible again. Cassie asked if there is someone else, and Shanann told her he says no. Shanann asked if she should call Mark to talk with him, stating that he talks. Cassie tells her that she can. Shanann apologized and said that Bella came into her bed and did not even ask where Chris was. Shanann said that she thinks that Bella senses she is in pain. And that is the last time they talked on the 8th. Hey, mama, what, Harley chick? Hey, hey, hey. Get a cup of coffee. Yeah, I got coffee too. Maybe he mistook the begging for nagging. Right? Tammy did not say NK was innocent, did she? No, it wasn't Tammy that said it. It was one of the law enforcement guys. Yes, she's right here, and they say with Jimmy. Possibly, yes, casual, exactly. And the only time her phone pings in Frederick were the days she went to the house. So the ping in Frederick on the morning of the murders is crazy. Watch True Crime Colorado's Unmasking NK. Oh, we've all watched that, Ty D. We've all loved True Crime Colorado here. We've all watched each and every one of those videos as they came out. We're huge fans of True Crime Colorado here. All of us are. I asked Scott Reich about that, and he said there's no evidence to support Nikki was there. That is in his opinion. I mean, we don't know that she was exactly there. There's maybe no evidence to support that she was there, but there is evidence to support that she knows more than she said she knew. They covered the ping and actually researched her prior morning route to work. She never pinged prior to the day. Exactly. Yes, yes. And we even talked about that here as well, Tidy, when that video came out on True Crime Colorado. What I'm thinking too, Miss T, exactly. That July 4th and 14th and morning of, I thought she pinged. We'll do it live. Hey, I think she was. I've said that the entire time. Yep. And everybody is entitled to their opinion until NK comes out and proves otherwise or tells us otherwise. What else are we supposed to expect? She did all these things. Why delete your phone if you're not guilty? Why tell Chris to delete his phone? Why tell Chris to pawn the ring? Why tell Chris to move his truck? Why stay on the phone with Chris when he's talking to the police, telling them that Shanann has tattoos and the height and weight of the children? Why stay on the phone with Chris when he is got police officers all throughout his house? That one night she stayed on the phone with him from 9:58 to 10:35. The police showed up at 10 p.m. Why search for wedding dresses? Why search Shanann a year before the murders? Why search Ronnie Watts? Why search the 2825 Saratoga Trail address? Why did she ping in Frederick? Why did she say Dieter led her upstairs? Dieter didn't lead her anywhere. Dieter was in his own home. A dog goes upstairs because he goes upstairs in his own home. That does not mean for her to even say the dog led her upstairs is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. If I'm at somebody's house and I'm not even sleeping with the person's husband and a dog goes upstairs at someone else's house, I'm not going to follow it. That's just couth. So, what else did she do? Why did she delete her phone? Why did she not want to give her information from the new phone? Why did Charlotte say that about house arrest and her being under investigation? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Yes, True Crime Colorado, you guys, I usually don't get people to subscribe to other whatever, but that is a channel you want to be subscribed to. True Crime Colorado. And the girl's voice is just soothing and awesome. And trust me, you want to be a subscriber. True Crime Colorado. So, now let's get back to what we were talking about. And you guys, a lot of this stuff is going to be covered in Discovery for these things that you have questions about and that you want to know about, like the pings and all of this. As we get through Discovery, these questions will be answered and you will be able to say, hey, go to page 500 and something of Discovery or 1,200 and something of Discovery, and you can find that answer right there. So let's get on with it. I think he killed Cece at home and he killed Bella at the site. But that's just my personal opinion. I think Cece was killed the night before and Bella was too. But this whole thing of them both waking up, I don't think that they both woke up. I think that he killed them both the night before. But Bella woke back up, and that is what he woke back up while he was killing Shanann. Saw him killing Shanann, and so he didn't know what to do in that moment. He did not plan for that, and so he took her out to the Servi and killed her at the Servi. But I do believe that Cece was already dead when she went in the truck. There's no way that that child sat in a truck quietly for an hour, just hugging her sister while her mom's dead body was at her feet. There is no way. There's no way that that child didn't run out that house, crazy, screaming, acting, very traumatized. She was dead already, you guys, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, me and you think the same, Tracy. So, but again, everybody's opinion does not have to line here. Everybody has a right to say what they think. And my opinion has changed before because of you guys helping persuade me. The fact that I thought there's no way Shanann ever got in the bed because she still had her bra on. And I was dead set on that. But my subscribers told me that doctors have said to wear your bra when you're pregnant, when you sleep, and it is for extra support. It keeps them from sagging and having all those, after effects on your boobs. And so I finally do not think that anymore because you guys helped me to understand that. And so that's why I thoroughly enjoy your opinions, your ideas, and all of that because it helps me to understand things better. There's 164 in the chat. Hit that like button, you guys, and hit that subscribe button. I do giveaways for all my subscribers every 500 people that we hit. If all 164 of you subscribe, we'll be doing another giveaway really soon. But don't worry if you don't win that one, because every 500 subscribers, I give away about $50 to $100 in value products. So why did he say that Shanann Watts strangled them when he knows they were smothered, or did he know how they died? I think he tried to cut. He didn't really say that she strangled them. He said he saw her on top of Cece. So I think he tried to pretend like he didn't know. Oh, I have a little zit right there. You know, when you blow in your nose so much, I have a little. Oh, my OCD's not going to let me leave it alone. Yes, it is awesome. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to my channel. All right, so let's get on with it. On 8/12, at Colorado time, 1:38 Colorado time, Shanann sends a list of counselors to Cassie. So this would have been that Sunday before she came home and got killed that next morning. She sent a list of counselors to Cassie. Well, evidently Cassie didn't reply. And that next day at 9 o'clock in the morning, Colorado time, Cassie replies and texts Shanann asking how she is doing. And Shanann does not reply. Well, then later on, Cassie texts Shanann that she is worried, and there's no reply. And then on page 565 of Discovery, this is when the group text is started. At 9:52, which is an hour later after she didn't get a reply, Cassie starts a group text with her, Nicole Atkinson, and Shanann. So it's just her and Nicole in this, because we know already that Shanann's passed, right? Leave what alone? Leave it alone, Mama D, LOL. I'm confused. Okay, so in that group text at 9:52, Cassie texts Shanann and Nicole Atkinson to ask if they would still be her friend if she lived in Boulder. After 6 texts about that, Shanann asked Nicole to tell her the sex of her baby. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is on 8/8. It goes back in Discovery. Okay, so we just finished that she didn't get a reply from Shanann, and then Discovery flips back to a group text on 8/8 between Shanann, Nicole Atkinson, and Cassie. I told you guys wrong. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I know, it's my nose running. Yeah, they had this special Johnny Cuddy. I did I'm actually going to end this live right now so you guys can have a place to watch that episode. And I'm going to come back I'm going to go try to blow my nose and all of that. And I'm going to come back and do another live with the Discovery, more Discovery. But I want people to have a place where they can actually go and watch what little bit that I covered from that episode. So I'm going to go ahead and let this live finish. And if 161 of you want to come back in 15 minutes, I'm going to go live again at 12:15, and we'll continue with the Discovery on page 565. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. 15 minutes. All right, and if you are looking to get some beautiful Christmas nails for your nails, I sell my 100% real nail polish strips. They're $5 a pack. You can buy 8 and get your 9th set for free. The link to shop that website is down below underneath my Rarity Nails website. If you love my skin, it's the skincare that I use through Mary Kay, and the makeup that I use is through Mary Kay. You can get that link down below. Check out their website. It's not your grandma's makeup, you guys. It's state of the art. They keep everything up and trending. It's not the same eyeshadow you used to use. All of that launched brand new last year. The foundation launched brand new last year. The Time Wise 3D launched brand new last year. And so almost all the products are brand new. It's not what you used to see or hear about. This stuff is state of the art, and Mary Kay stays on top of it. So, yes, you can do your nails twice with one pack. There's over 200 different designs to choose from, you guys, and these are only $5 a pack. They get shipped right to you. So check out those links below. I'm going to go ahead and let this video upload so people that have not been able to see the Oxygen special can watch what I covered on it. And we're going to jump right back into Discovery, you guys. We have so much to cover with Discovery that we need to just get right on it. And I'm going to be back in 15 minutes to continue reading this. And it looks like that we're going to go over Cassie's interview. We're going to finish that. And then we are going to go over Tony Husky's interview, which was Chris's boss. And then it looks like we've got another Nicole Kessinger phone interview. So it's about to get real up in here. So I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. All right. If you have not got your book, you need to get your book. My Daddy is a Hero from Lena. What's her name, you guys? You can get it from Amazon. It's Lena Durhally. She wrote a book about Chris's Watts, his psyche and all of that, and understanding him, and like a criminal profiler, but she is actually has a BA in psychology, and so she wrote this book about Chris, and it will be here on Tuesday. So you guys get yours. You know Amazon does the 2-day shipping, so get your book so we can all read it together. And I will see you in a few. Bye, 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 bye.